there was an institute here in Paris that is a integrative oncology institute. So they have cancer patients, but they treat them with a multidisciplinary, transdisciplinary approach. And one of the things we did was to model how they did this on these different levels. What is the environmental things that are important? What kind of behaviors? What kind of capabilities? What sort of beliefs? What sort of purpose? Once you have that model, then you can transfer what they're doing in this successful integrative institute to other institutes. So now you have a way of having other institutes be able to do this without having to figure it all out through trial and error. So they can say, this is what worked for us. The other institute can then adapt it, but you at least have a structure that is transferable. And just last week, there was a big meeting of the Association for Society for Integrative Oncology in Boston, and we were presenting this model there for other integrative oncology institutes that want to begin to bring a multidisciplinary, transdisciplinary approach to treating oncology into their own environment. So that's one of the examples of how you can use that. And of course, I've written 3 books on this based on the success factor modeling approach relating to entrepreneurship, to collective intelligence, conscious leadership. So with this, we can certainly model ourselves as an individual or model another person as an individual, but we can also model a group. In this case, we're modeling a sort of a whole organization. In this case, for me to model that institute, I had to go there and be there and get to know them. I couldn't just do it only by imagination. So when you're modeling, you have to have some direct experience that you can draw upon either by memory or if it's another person, we call an NLP second position. That is, I have to put myself in their shoes. Now, remember, the model itself is not intended to be the only one accurate description. In fact, a model is a model. And so sometimes the way that I'm working with something is I start with a first draft, right? It's just what I would imagine at first. And then I can actually go and test it, follow up with it. So you don't have to have all of the information and it doesn't have to be perfect. And in fact, a lot of the models that I've created, like the Disney model, Dreamer, Realist, Critic, is not a direct, accurate description of what Walt Disney did when he was working with his teams. It's a more of an abstraction. You don't have to be Walt Disney to do it. If you make the model too precise, the only person who can do it is the one that you model because it's all just them. But if I want to be able to adapt it, then I want to have it be not so specific that it's too tight. But you also don't want to be too abstract or too fluffy because the main purpose of a model is that it's useful.